All right, so my friend was coming from the US, flying to Finland, and were traveling around, and then we were supposed to meet. I was thinking like, yeah, maybe not, because I'm very busy with my works, right? So then we met, and I got very strict timeline to do my weekly reflection on the past week. And what I ended up doing was that I got finished in 3.5 hours, which is a lot less than it takes usually. So now it has been almost 2 hours and not even halfway through. So basically, the lesson from it is that you have limited amount of resources, e.g., time. That time you need to use efficiently. Focus on the main issues you have in your life and start solving the most obvious and critical ones first, and then solve those which are non-obvious and very critical too. And then only focus on those things always, like the most critical things you have to solve. And then make sure that the output you get is divided by the input hours, and that number is very high. And then have a sense of urgency always, whatever you're doing. But if it's a creative thing, then maybe do not have that. But otherwise, yes. Then steps to improve: plan strict timelines on whatever you do, and have a specific plan, as I've discussed in other videos, which is already learned for me. And only work on your major issues that by solving them will give you the biggest output divided by the resources invested. And that number should be at least 3 at minimum. So it means that you invest 1 hour, you get 3 hours results. Or you invest, let's say you earn 50 euros per hour, I don't know, whatever. And then let's do 100. Okay, you earn 100 an hour, and then you do a task that will give you 300 euro output. That's like what you should be focusing on. All these things you should do. Cool. Then the most critical things only. Make sure that the thing that you're doing, it's the most critical thing you have to do right now. Then once you know the critical things, then when solved, figure out the non-obvious bottlenecks next, other critical things, and only focus on the critical things, right? And then create a sense of urgency if you are not working on something that is supposed to be creative.